So Max Muncy is leading the MLB in home runs. And why is that? What's going on with his swing that's allowing him to lead guys like Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the 3 keys, and we're also going to talk about what he's not doing last year that led him to having a very, very terrible year. So with that being said, if you're new here, I'm former MLB player Jermaine Curtis, and I help players hit the ball harder, farther, and more consistently. And if you're interested in a swing breakdown where I break down your swing or your son's swing, link is in the description below. If you're younger than 18, have your parent reach out to me so that, there's no issues, right? So all you have to do, again, is go below, click the link. It's in the description or in the comment section, and it'll take you to a page where you can, fill out a little application and send me your video, and I'll tell you what you're doing if you're struggling to be consistent or you're lacking in power. So with that being said, let's talk about what he's not doing. So in 2022, he struggled badly. It was not the same hitter that he was in previous years. Previous years, he was hitting 30, 35 home runs. In 2022, he hit 21 home runs. Now, that's still a lot. That's, when scouts are looking at players, they're saying, can this guy hit 20 home runs in the majors? That's considered an average MLB player at the major league level. Is can he hit 20 home runs? Now, even in his down year, he hit 21 home runs. So what happened in that year? Well, in 2021, he hurt himself, and I'm sure even though he was healthy in 2022, it still affected him. I know as a player, I got hurt with my hamstring. I pulled my hamstring in 2017. 2016. I pulled my hamstring in 2016. In 2017, I was healthy, and I was in big league camp with the Oakland A's, and I was still struggling. I couldn't run at 100% even though I was healthy. And that was, my mental side. I still thought I was hurt, and that happens as an athlete. So that was part of, but there was something else that he did in his mechanics that he stopped doing this year. And what did he do? Well, in 2022, he would take a step back with his left foot, and then he would start his, start moving and striding forward. It was almost like Nolan Arenado. And Nolan Arenado, he's moving so much in his lower half. He's taking steps, he's closing himself off, and then he takes a step back, and then he starts to get quiet before the storm, right? He starts to, everything starts to get very, very quiet, still, and then he's able to get the bat head to the baseball. So that's what he started to do, just to experiment, and it helped him to go from batting 150 to 190. But in the off season, he was like, I need to just simplify everything and allow myself to just get in a good position to hit. And that's where we're at right now. We're at key number 1, which is simplifying your hitting mechanics. When we look right here at him, you'll see that when he starts striding, it's simple. There's really nothing going on that's so different, so crazy, so wild in his mechanics. It's simple, it's very repeatable, and it's something that I highly recommend you do if you're a young baseball player, is to try to create very repeatable swing mechanics. And I always tell this to my hitters, to crank up the pitching machine to about the highest velocity at your age level, okay? And if you can't square that up, you can't square baseball up pretty consistently, then you need to go back to the drawing board, because that player usually goes to the next level. Then that player usually goes to the next level, and it keeps going on. So you want to be able to square that guy up and have mechanics where you can square that ball up, because the higher you go up, there's going to be pitchers that you face that are similar to that. So you want to keep doing that the higher you go up. And if you can't do it, it's going to be very hard for you to go to that next level. So we want to create very simple, repeatable swings that we can reproduce over and over and over. Now, the next key is that he's hitting more fly balls. Now, before you jump off this video and start, trying to hit fly balls, the first thing I want to say here is that Max Muncy learned how to hit first. I came up the minor leagues against him, and he knew how to take a line drive to the opposite field down the line. He knew how to take his base hit to the opposite side. He knew how to look for pitchers in a count that he can do damage with. He knew how to hit first before he started to increase his fly ball rate. Excuse me. Before he increased his fly ball rate. So before you do all that, learn how to hit first. Learn how to square the baseball up. Learn how to be a hitter. Look for pitches at certain locations so that you can get the results. Learn how to shrink the zone so that you can increase the probabilities of you doing damage. Once you learn how to do all that, you can start changing your swing path to get the results you want. I see too many young players out there that are following these trends, trying to hit, and all they're doing is just blending in, but they haven't learned how to hit first. Once you learn how to hit, you can start changing your swings. You can start changing your approach. It's just not about the swing. There's more to hitting than just the swing. Honestly, the swing is the last thing. It's a lot more stuff that's going on before that, such as the mental side. If you don't believe you can hit, you're not going to be able to hit. Your approach at the plate, the timing. If you're getting your front foot down and getting yourself in a good launch position, your lower half, is your lower half leaking forward? Is it too, if your hips are a little out of line, so you're a little bit more uphill, and then your swing comes around after that. So there are so many things that are going on before you actually swing the bat, and that's what you need to learn how to do. And once you learn that, then you can start manipulating it and manipulating the barrel and getting the ball more in the air and all that stuff. And you can see here as an example, look how he starts his swing. Now you see how he starts pulling his hands in, okay, and the barrel now gets even with the ground, which is exactly what we want. His back arm starts to get connected with his lower half, and then you'll see here that his hands, okay, always stay above the baseball, but the barrel is downward, right? And you can see here, look what his barrel is. Barrel still is downward, it's starting to move more up, but it's still below his hands, okay? And now when he hits the baseball, it starts to even out. The barrel starts to even out above his chest, okay? So throughout this entire time, the barrel is below his hands. And a lot of times when players get to like this position, the barrel starts to flatten out, and then they're hitting those line drives, or they'll start rolling over. But you can see right here, he's still keeping his barrel below his hands. And it's not until right here he's able to basically flatten that barrel out over and finish that swing off. So that right there is something that's increasing his fly ball rate. He's working more underneath the baseball, but again, he's able to do that because he has repeatable swing mechanics. If his mechanics weren't repeatable, he wouldn't be able to work underneath the baseball. So point number one is very important. The next thing is he's moving more linear towards the pitcher. When I watched video of him in 2022, he was starting to get rotational. Again, I think it's because he was hurt. But if you see right here, all his movement is working right back up the middle. Look at his body, his stride is going straight up the middle. And then you can see here, look at the bat path. Look at his top hand. This left hand right here is working right back up to the pitcher. And then it's not until right here where he starts to rotate off, but that's already when he finished his swing. So everything is working more linear, such as JD Martinez and Mookie Betts. I'm sure they're all talked about hitting, because You know, when you're on the team with players like that, you're talking about, hey, what are you thinking? What are you doing? And they're sharing their philosophies and sharing their gold nuggets on what they think about, you know, how to move and what you should do at the plate. Now, I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying that I'm sure they helped him and you know, giving them some little golden nuggets. I know that Max Muncy is, you know, a guy that hammered 30 plus home runs in previous years, so he doesn't need it, but it's always good to get information from your teammates, and that's where you get the best information, because they're in the trenches with you. So those are the 3 keys and why he's leading the MLB in home runs. He has a repeatable swing mechanics. Doesn't matter who's pitching, doesn't matter how hard the pitcher's throwing, he gets in the same spot consistently. Okay, second thing is he's working underneath the ball, so he's hitting more fly balls, and especially to his pull side, and that's the reason why he's hitting more home runs. And then the third one is he's more linear towards the pitcher. His movements are going right direct towards the pitcher. So those are things I highly recommend you do as a hitter, and I want to know what you think about this. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and again, if you want a free swing breakdown for a limited time, I'm doing that. I'll help you and give you tips on what you need to do to be consistent, or what you need to do to hit for more power. If you're younger than 18, have your parent reach out. And with that being said, thank you guys so much. Comment below, let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you soon.